Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode we will examine the latest information about the ending of The Rise of Skywalker. Then, we will discuss how this changes our interpretation from the ending that the leaks had revealed to us prior to this point, and finally, we will read the detailed ending from the Jedi Paxos leaks, adding these new details in to get the best picture of what to expect in the film. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding me for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video and any other video from the channel that you check out, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that the bell is completely filled in, as this is the way you will never miss a new video the second it goes live.
Do it.
Lastly, before we get into it, I am having a 10% off of the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. That's 10% off using the code COFFEE at checkout. COFFEE, coffee at checkout for 10% off your order of Star Wars Coffee merchandise.
Do it.
Alright, let's get into the new leaks emerging on the ending of The Rise of Skywalker, and let's start by throwing out a spoiler warning for anybody who doesn't want to know anything further about The Rise of Skywalker, as there will be spoilers from the film, so consider this your spoiler warning. Alright, Jason Ward, the Supreme Leaker himself, has told us some new information about The Rise of Skywalker, specifically about Kylo Ren, that dramatically changes our interpretation of the understanding of specifically the ending of The Rise of Skywalker, but a lot more about the arc of Kylo Ren in this film, allowing us to put these puzzle pieces together from The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi to The Rise of Skywalker to make them much more unifying in the sense that they all belong in the same trilogy. Jason tells us in his latest YouTube video over at MakingStarWars.net that Palpatine originally tells Kylo Ren to kill Rey when he first encounters him on Exegol. He tells Kylo Ren to kill Rey, and Kylo reveals during one of his encounters with Rey that Palpatine has informed him to kill her, but Kylo says he's not going to do it. This early indication, I assume there was no timeline given to this as when this would happen in the film. I would expect it at the end of their first encounter, either in Pisana or during the time when they're in Kylo's chambers with the Darth Vader mask, but I would expect Kylo to reveal this to Rey at one of those 2 points. And the way that this changes our understanding of the character gives us much more of a sense and a much more endearing idea to root for him as a character for his redemption. And this is continued to be developed from The Last Jedi, where we saw him kill Snoke in order to save Rey, and he is now at this point trying to be a villain he knows he's not. And this is going to be reinforced at this point subtly to the audience by informing Rey that he's not going to kill her as the Emperor requested. Later on in the film, when Han Solo makes his appearance to Ben Solo in a dream, in a vision, and some type of Force mirage that is not Han being a Force ghost, it is not Han being a Force ghost. I saw that in the comments a lot. Han is not a Force ghost. He will be having a conversation with Ben Solo, who's regretting his actions after the Death Star battle with Rey. This is the battle we've seen a lot of TV spots for, a lot of promo from the trailer, a lot of interviews saying that this was a 7-day sequence where there were water cannons going off, and there's going to be some regret in whatever actions Ben takes in this portion of the film. Having this conversation with Han Solo, his father, there's going to be a callback to the original trilogy from Empire, where there's going to be an I love you, I know type of callback moment, and Ben is going to start saying I love you to his father, and he's going to cut him off and say I know. An excellent way to continue to merge all of these trilogies together as one cohesive story. I'm sure there will be some fans who aren't exactly thrilled with this decision. They may think it's just an unnecessary, vacuous attempt to connect these, but I think it's a much more meaningful one, connecting the character of Han Solo much more with this sequel trilogy and connecting his personality, knowing that the presence of the Big Three is still felt in these films. Continuing, Ben-demption, as it's been known in the Star Wars community since The Force Awakens, is followed by him going and helping Rey try and defeat Palpatine, which we had already known. That part is not new to us, but the new part that changes the climax dramatically is the fact of this healing power that we have been seeing used in this film by Rey several times, when it's healing the Sandworm and when it's healing Kylo Ren after one of their encounters. And apparently Rey isn't the only one who's able to do this. Kylo Ren is also going to be able to use this, or I should say Ben Solo at this point, is going to be able to use this healing power when Rey and him fight the Emperor. During their encounter after the Emperor incapacitates both of them, and when he is shooting his Sith lightning into the fleet of the Resistance, paralyzing them in space, Ben Solo is going to be regaining consciousness first this time, unlike the Last Jedi throne room sequence, and he is going to be using what strength he has left to help Rey defeat the Emperor. In an act of selflessness, Kylo Ren is going to heal Rey this time in order for her to take the Emperor on. And this is going to be Kylo's moment of redemption, cementing him as Ben Solo and allowing him to get that redemption while still satisfying what they can with fans without him having to survive this trilogy. I'm sure there will be a lot of fans who want him to survive. I do, but it's going to be hard to see that happening given this latest information, where Palpatine, after he sees Ben conscious, is going to throw him off into the abyss. So that scene in the Jedi Paxis leaks where we see him just get thrown off and wonder why that's it, makes much more sense now that he's conscious, he's healing Rey, and he's giving her the opportunity. And after this point, it is followed by the voices of the Force ghosts, and it's supposed to be just an audible experience of the past awakenings raking Rey up. Rey pulls out both Anakin and Leia's lightsabers, making an X and deflecting Palpatine's lightning back at him, killing him. And that is going to be how Kylo's story ends, is having a keystone effect, in a sense, in the ability for Rey to actually overthrow Palpatine. Would not be able to do it without Kylo Ren. So this whole defeating Palpatine hinges on Ben Solo helping to force heal Rey so that he can continue to, or rather not continue, but allowing him to make peace with himself in the sense that he knows that he's finally done the right thing. So now that we've established that, let's go back to these Jedi Paxis leaks and incorporate this new detail in, as I think it will shift the way we see this scene, the sequence, and the character of Kylo Ren. This is obviously in Act 3. We're going to focus on the scenes that have Kylo Ren in it, starting with him taking on the Knights of Ren. Quote from the Jedi Paxis leaks: Ben killing the Knights with only the Force has apparently changed. As it's being told now, he initially gets beat up by the Knights without a weapon. After doing this, he enters the arena as Rey is about to strike the Emperor. As Rey is about to kill Palpatine, she sees no way around this. She senses Ben at the last moment. She realizes that she's not alone and initiates a Force bond with him to pass off one of her lightsabers to him. Rey apparently takes out the guards with Leia's saber, while Ben uses Anakin's to dispatch the Knights of Ren. They reconvene to face Palpatine together. Seeing Ben arrive pleases Darth Sidious. Palpatine then uses his power to bond them together and begin to siphon power and direct it into himself. As it flows into him, the once silky and decrepit Palpatine stands tall and strong once again, restoring himself to a much younger, healthier state. Having returned to full strength, Palpatine then shoots lightning into Ben, forcing him to fall into a bottomless abyss, never to be seen again. Sidious then shoots lightning in the sky at the Resistance ships. So now to quote, not from the Jedi Paxis, but to use the information that we just got from Jason Ward, apparently Rey is going to be getting hit with this Force lightning too, and she's going to be healed. Rey getting healed by Kylo Ren. The Emperor notices this and then shoots lightning into Kylo Ren, forcing him to fall into the bottomless abyss. Rey wakes up. He reportedly continues to make statements about how Rey will join him. Quoting again from the Jedi Paxis leaks. Rey reportedly lies on the ground and begins to concentrate calmly but hard. She reaches out to the Force asking for help and finally begins to commune with the Jedi of the past. I'm being told that among the voices she hears during this time are Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, among others. In defiance of this, Rey grabs both Anakin and Leia's lightsabers and Palpatine turns his wrath on her. It's lightsaber to lightsaber at this point. Outpowering the Emperor, deflecting his lightning back toward himself, killing him and unleashing an explosion powerful enough to make the arena start to crumble around them. Darth Sidious, the last of the Sith Lords, is finally dead. So as you can see with those couple of sentences being added in to this climax of the film, we really see that Ben Solo was not a throwaway death. He really served a purpose and he sacrificed himself, officially redeeming himself as Ben Solo, cementing himself with the light side of the Force in this final moment before he gets thrown into the abyss, mirroring the death of his father Han Solo. Ideally, I would still like to have seen Kylo Ren live, but this is much more satisfying than him just getting knocked unconscious and thrown into the abyss without anything to do or add to the fight whatsoever. Let me know what you guys think about that with a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching, may God bless you and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.